guys, welcome back to our channel. Obviously, as you can tell by the title, we're going to be going over our top 5 personalized lists for best rides at Hollywood Studios in Disney World, Orlando, Florida.
Boom.
Let's get right into it. How this is going to work is we're just going to go back and forth with our 5, my 5th, his 5th, back and forth until we get to number 1. Before we do our number 1, we're gonna throw in an honorable mention. So we're gonna start with number 5. My number 5 is Slinky Dog Dash. Slinky Dog Dash is a fun, cute family coaster. All right, and I think that's the reason why I put it at 5 and not, a little bit lower.
A whopping 40 miles per hour.
It's, it's a little slow. It's not as thrilling as some of the other rides. It's not as exciting. The queue is cute. The queue is very cute.
It's a very nostalgic ride, especially
very much
kids
so.
like us that grew up watching it.
Correct.
It's great.
You love Toy Story. You're gonna love this ride. You're gonna love Toy Story Land. It's so amazing. So immersive. Surreal. It really is. But I will say Slinky Dog Dash will be sitting at number 5 for me just because the lack of thrill factor that it holds.
Correct. So for my 5th, I'm going to be doing Smuggler's Run. I know. Especially because I like Star Wars, and who doesn't like going to the Millennium Falcon? But my issue is not being able to trust your teammates that you don't know.
Yeah.
The first time we got on it, we were engineers?
We were the only ones doing anything.
On top of anything. Pilots sucked.
Take your jobs
Take the job seriously. The second time we went on it, we were both pilots, and that was like a way better experience. And I also feel like it's too short. It's really short, especially if you're gonna wait like a while to get on, like 40 minutes or so. It's not a very long ride. Like I know a lot of, for the experience that you're doing, I feel it should have been a little bit longer. That's my only thing. Other than that, the queue is great. You're going in the Millennium Falcon. If you get the chance, like we did, we got to fly the Millennium Falcon.
Right.
How cool is that?
It was amazing.
But I have a couple issues. Maybe go with a group of friends or something if you're gonna go do it.
6 people.
Yeah,
4 or 6 people.
4 or 6 people.
You should go with.
Exactly. But it was still a great ride, and that's why it's still inside of my top 5. Smuggler's Run, the Millennium Falcon.
Coming in at number 4 for me, and I know some of you may be like, what do you mean?
That means me.
Hear me out.
That means me.
Hear me out.
'Cause I don't know.
Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. I know. Wait, what do you mean? Wait. First of all, nostalgic. It's amazing. You're in a cartoon. It is adorable. Just kiss. It's a little too short for me. It needs to be longer. That's the only thing, okay? It needs to be a little bit longer, all right? The queue is long. The queue is beautiful for the most part when you get inside. But it needs to be a little bit longer. Just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. It's fun, it's exciting, it's immersive, it's beautiful, it's adorable. Okay, get emotional at the end. It just needs to be a little bit longer. And that is why it is number 4 for me. I'm sorry, I know. I'm sorry.
You're gonna guess me.
But I said what I said, love me please.
After that, now here comes my 4.
I'm not crying.
And I might be honest, some people might take it wrong too. I don't know.
Do tell.
Not like that. Tower of Terror is my number 4. Hear me out.
Do tell.
I also find that one to be a little short. I love the queue. The queue is awesome. Everything leading up to it, and then the little show they do in the beginning, and then you go in the thing. Real cobwebs. That's awesome. But there's not enough drops for me. It's not enough. You get scared all you want. There's not enough drops for me.
That was a personal attack.
That was a personal attack. I have photos. Of her on the ride. But it's great. It's a classic ride. It's the monument for the park. It's great. I will go on it all the time.
Every time
I'll go on it. but it sits at 4 for me because I just kind of like these next 3 a little more. So Tower of Terror is at 4 for me.
Number 3 for me. We've reached the top 3 now, ladies and gentlemen. We've come this far, and if you're here, make sure you like and subscribe.
Hit the bell.
Okay? Right now.
Right now.
While you're watching.
Instead of the end of the video, do it now,
Right now.
as you're watching.
Number 3 for me is Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. And the reason it's not lower is because, or higher, however you want to take it, whatever, closer to 1, is like Ethan said, you need to have a good team. And if you don't have a good team, it could be a little aggravating, okay? Obviously, when we were the pilots, it was great. Pretty much, we had everything taken care of.
Smooth sailing.
We didn't even have engineers, mind you, in that one. We just had one...
a gunner.
One gunner.
We had 1 gunner.
That was it. Take that in. And we did better than having 4 other people and us as engineers. Okay? However, it was fun. It was exciting. You're driving the Millennium Falcon. Excuse me. Okay? That is why it sits at number 3 for me, because it's amazing. You're immersed. You're part of the Star Wars galaxy. Why wouldn't you love it? That is why it's number 3 for me.
Alright, so now we're, like you said, we're in the top 3s now. My number 3 is going to be Rock and Roller Coaster. I absolutely love this ride, and I was not even that excited for it when we came to the park.
What was it?
I was just like, it's just gonna be a roller coaster, gonna play some Aerosmith. Okay. No. The queue is great. I mean, the outside part, but once you get inside the studio and you start doing all that, that's awesome. And then you get in the car, and then it just takes you. There's no tick back, nothing. Just boom, right to 60 miles per hour, and you go right in the dark, and you got the street signs and all the Aerosmith playing. It was just such a fun ride, and we did it twice when we went.
No, just the one.
No, we did.
No, we did twice. We did do it twice.
We did do it twice. It's just such a fun ride, and so much adrenaline, comes with that ride. When like you got Tower and Terror stuff, but a lot of stuff is kind of it's not like jumping at you, and you're not going crazy. It's a little more mellowed out. The other rides at the park, but this one just like if you want to feel an adrenaline kick right away, that'll do it for you as soon as it starts.
Oh yeah.
As soon as Stevie's done counting all the way down, you're there. It's happening. It's happening. So for me, Rock and Roller Coaster is going to sit at a nice 3 on my list.
Number 2 for me, okay, and I'm sure some of you will agree with me. You won't. Tower of Terror is number 2 for me.
But I can't really argue that.
Right, correct.
It's not like Spider-Man in their previous video where she put it at 5. Okay.
You want to see that previous video? It'll be down below.
See, I'm just. It's just a plug. It was a plug.
No, it was a drag, mate. Anyways, Tower of Terror is number 2 for me. A childhood favorite. Okay, it was one of the ones I wanted to go to and get on when I was 9 years old. Okay, 8 or 9 years old. I wanted to make sure that Ethan got on it when we went to Hollywood Studios. The adrenaline that you feel in the dark when you go out into the twilight zone and see everything, and when the windows open, especially at night. We rode it 2 times, one during the day,
Yes.
one at night. It was amazing.
I
It
will
was
say
beautiful.
the nighttime was a better ride experience because it also felt a little longer to me.
We dropped more.
We did drop
on
more,
the
so it
second
did get a
ride.
couple more points for that. But like I said, during the day it just felt shorter and whatnot. But it looked so good at night.
But yes, it was beautiful at night. It's amazing. One of my favorite rides. The queue, I absolutely love the queue. It's so, old-timey and abandoned and just still beautiful. And it is. It's an amazing ride, in my opinion. And that is why it sits at number 2.
Coming in at my number 2, is gonna be Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Okay.
It is just such a cute, classic Disney ride. It was the very first ride we went on when we got there, and the very last ride we did when we left. And both times I thought it was great. I can understand what she's saying it could be a little bit longer, but there's just so much going on that it's just it's just so much fun. And then just like looking at the animation and how you feel like you're in a cartoon, you're just sitting there like a little kid, like, oh my goodness, what's
really
going
are.
on? You're like a kid in a candy shop. If you love Disney, you're gonna love that ride. It's so cute. The ending is great. You know, you can't help but be smiling ear to ear when you're riding it. It's just such a fun ride. So that's going to be my number 2 for me right there. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
We interrupt this program for an important news announcement.
Now, before we get to our number 1, we're going to be hitting you with our honorable mentions.
Honorables.
My honorable mention, hot take, Rock and Roller Coaster. I love Rock and Roller Coaster. It was so hard for me to decide what was gonna be the honorable mention because I wanted to put it on the list. I love it, yes, it takes you off. However, it's the initial takeoff with my anxiety again. I can't. And that is why it's an honorable mention. It is fun, it is exciting. However, I still want a power sign. Refurbishment, okay? Yeah. I will stand and die on that hill, okay?
But Aerosmith is just, you know.
But it is fun. It is exciting. That is why, again, it is an honorable mention. It made it as an honorable mention, but it just didn't cut it for my top 5.
So my honorable mention is gonna end up being a Slinky Dog Dash. It's a great ride. It's adorable. It's a classic. It's Toy Story, like we were saying before when she had it on her list. But it's just not, like you said, it's a family coaster. It's a little bit slower. It's a little bit more relaxed, especially for the younger kids that, you know, want to feel that thrill but can't go on bigger stuff like that yet.
Definitely something to ease into.
The nostalgia of it, though, for being kids that grew up watching Toy Story, it's great. I loved it. It just couldn't make my list for this, but it was very, very close, and it was very tempting to try and maybe slide it in, or maybe even say, let's make a top 6 instead of 5, just because it is still right on the, yeah. But it's still such a great ride. It's just it was still fun, but it just couldn't make my list for me.
My number 1, okay, I'm sure you've guessed it by now because I haven't said it. Rise of the Resistance, okay? So immersive. The queue is incredible. The actors, just everybody involved in Rise of the Resistance, the animatronics. Holy cow. Are you kidding me? How are they real? How are they real? Animatronics. How are they animatronics? Excuse me. How are they animatronics and not real is what I'm trying to say. And then you see Kylo, you see everybody, and then you walk in and you see all the stormtroopers and everything. It's just, Galaxy's Edge in itself is
unbelievable.
Like, you get emotional, you get overwhelmed by everything. Everything just feels so real.
It doesn't matter if you're like a diehard, like lifelong fan, or you could also be a newer fan or anything. You could have just watched the movies recently, and you're gonna walk in there and you're just gonna be like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm here. I feel like I'm actually in Batu right now doing all this. It's completely surreal how crazy and how amazing it all looks.
It's insane. It's insane. And Rise of the Resistance has to be like my all-time favorite ride now in Hollywood Studios, because it was, before I went on Rise of the Resistance, it was Tower of Terror, obviously.
Absolutely.
But now that we've gone into Galaxy's Edge and experienced everything, it has to be Rise of the Resistance. Just all the animatronics, everything, the actors, just everything is so spot on and so immersive and amazing. So that is why that would be my number 1.
With all that being said, I am also going to have to put Rise of the Resistance at number 1. She took all the words out of my mouth. It's just being a fan for so long and just walking through something like that. Like, you literally, there is no problems in the world. Nothing's wrong. You were just there in the moment as such a little kid, just smiling and loving every aspect of this ride. Even the queue. even the queue, you got all this stuff to look at, everything going on, and then you join the resistance, and then you get captured. I'm not gonna spoil everything for you. It's just if you haven't ridden it and you don't know anything about it, and you're gonna be going soon or something like that, don't watch anything, nothing. Go in there blank, knowing nothing. It is such a great experience just to do. We did it. We made sure we did it at least twice when we were there. Like I would go on it probably 4 more times if we had the time and the weights, everything. It's just such a good ride. It's such a great ride. I'm so glad that you can finally just go on it now.
Right.
Instead of having to do the virtual queues. It's great. Rise of the Resistance is Hollywood Studios' best ride that they have. I'm standing on business when I talk about it.
Correct.
It is the best ride in that park.
With that being said, okay,
It is.
that was our lists of our top 5 favorite rides at Hollywood Studios and Disney World. Comment down below what your favorite rides are, what your top 5 or even number 1 is. Okay, and we'll try and get back to you in the comments. But make sure you like and subscribe.
Hit the bell.
Hit that bell.
And we're out.
And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.